Hello, I'm Dave Mills, Technology Librarian here at the West Wyandotte branch of the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library. Now, you might come to the library for help on your job search, and in particular, you might use our career section back here for help on your resume and your cover letter. But did you know that the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library's e-community has Learning Express, and that too can help you with your resume and cover letter? Let me show you. To get started using the Job and Career Accelerator in Learning Express, you first have to log in into your Learning Express account. I have, as indicated right here in the upper portion of the page here, and of course upon successful login to your Learning Express, you land at the My Center page. Now remember, the My Center page tracks all of your usage of the Learning Express databases, and so you can see in the ebook section here, I still have two ebooks that I downloaded from a previous session. If you further explore this page and look towards the left here, you'll see something called the Career Dashboard. And this tracks all of your work in your job hunt, your creation of resumes, letters, saved job searches, and things like that. We're going to go ahead and work on resumes and cover letters. And to do that, I'm going to go ahead and go up to the Careers button, which is right here, float my mouse down to the Job and Career Accelerator, go over to Build Resumes and Job Letters, and click. And that lands me on the Job and Career Accelerator landing page here. And at the very top is the Career Dashboard, and this is the same Career Dashboard that we saw previously on the prior page. Now here it only shows us three sections of the Career Dashboard: the Save Job Searches right here, a Resume section, and Letters. We're wanting to go ahead and start building a resume, so we're going to go up here in the upper right hand corner and click on Start Building Your First Resume. And Learning Express takes us to a new page, and it's an introductory page called Resume Builder, and it basically asks us, first of all, a question here: how do you want to start your resume? How do you want to set it up? And do you want to create it from create a new resume, or do you want to upload an existing resume and edit that? And also, it has resume writing tips right here. But for our purposes, we're going to go ahead and create a new resume. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And a form opens up, and Learning Express wants us to give some details to what kind of resume we're working on. So first of all, we're going to enter our name. Go down and enter a description of the resume. We're going to select the job category, and here we're going to take a look at this list. This lists about 20 categories here. And let's see, I'm going to click on Education and Training here. And then the fourth position to fill is our experience. And click on that and look at the drop down and judge the best you can on this. So I'm going to go ahead and say I'm an experienced job seeker right here. And then we have a section here, and it asks, please choose the one that best describes your situation. Do you have a gap between your work history? Are you transitioning from a military to a civilian workforce? Are you looking to change careers? And then the fourth option is none of these options. None of these options describe my current work situation. I'm going to leave it right here, and I'm going to go ahead and start building my resume. And Learning Express takes us to the Resume Builder. And here's the title that I typed in there, my name right there that I typed at the other form. And then take note of the links up here at the top of the screen: helpful hints, letter builder, saved resume, and a privacy button that talks about your privacy as you build this resume. And then the second level here, and this is our active screen right here, we're building or editing a resume, but we can also browse sample resumes. And we can also go to a keyword list. And I would argue that this is a very important link right here, because it produces a list of action verbs. And a lot of good resumes show action verbs, and that's what a lot of potential employers are looking for. They're looking for action verbs that describe how well you might be doing the job. And of course, we have a preview resume button here, so you can preview your resume before you click save. As we progress down further, we have a navigation section here that allows us to navigate from section to section. And so, for example, if I hit the right arrow here to go to a new section, it takes me to the header section right there. And the header section, of course, is information about you, your name, your contact information, and email addresses and like that. So I'm going to take a closer look at this. And okay, there's my name right there. And if I want to make changes, I might add my middle name. And of course, here's my home address, my city, and my state. Here's an option where you can include or not include your country of origin if you want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and leave it as the United States. My postal zip code right there. And then email address, and then home phone, and then mobile phone right there if I so choose to do that. And then if I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to go ahead and click save. And then if you look at the header section right here, here's the changes that I made to my name. Remember I added my middle name right there, and then the contact information. And it looks like my home phone number is all bunched together, and maybe I don't like that. So I'm going to go back up and click edit. It's always very important to check your work and make sure everything looks good. And I'm going to go ahead and put dashes in my home phone numbers to separate out the numbers here. And then once again, I'm going to go ahead and click save. Take a look at my work, and everything looks pretty good right here. So I'm going to go ahead and progress on further. And once again, I can go forward and backward on the navigational buttons right here, or I can simply just scroll up and down. And so the next section here is the headline section. And if I choose to add something here, it takes me to a different screen. And it says the headline should catch the reader's attention by briefly stating your job goals and what you have to offer. And so I'll just type a statement here. And we'll go ahead and click save. And of course, you can always come back and edit this later if you're not satisfied with what you typed out here. So we'll click save right there. And so my headline statement appears there. Highlights of qualifications. You may choose to put an entry here. And once again, I'll say, no, instead of 20 years, I'll say extensive experience working in a public library, including reference work, circulation, and mind your spelling, by the way, collection development, and supervisory work. And once again, click save so it's added to your resume. And then you can work your way down here to include your experience, your highlights of your qualifications, your education, your skills that you have to offer, any licensings or certifications that you might have, any honors or anything that distinguishes you in your profession, any publications that you might have presented or presentations for that matter as well, any involvement in professional associations. And you can see the other sections right here. So that's how you begin to form your resume right here. I'm going to go ahead and click on preview my resume right here. And we're going to take a look at how this is looking so far. And so it looks like, yeah, here's my header right here. And here's my statement of 20 years service as a public librarian. And then here's my statement of the highlights of my qualifications. And always proofread your work, because I just took a notice of my highlights of my qualifications, and I noticed I have a misspelled word right here, extensive right there. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go click back here on build or edit my resume. And then I'm going to scroll down to where my mistake is right here. I'm going to click edit and highlight the word that I misspelled and make sure I spell it correctly. and click Save. And this is pretty much the routine. You go back and forth, scrutinize your work, and then, preview your changes. And it's always going to be a work in process as such. Now, before I go on to letter writing, I should probably click on the keyword list here to show you what this looks like. And basically, once again, use action words right here. And so you might consider looking over these categories right here, and I'm going to go ahead and go down to teaching skills to see what action verbs are here. And they suggest these words right here, accommodated, adapted, engaged, improvised right there. I'm going to collapse that. And also a librarian also researches. So let's see what kind of action verbs they have here. And so you can see the action verbs right there. And so as you're typing out your resume, you might choose to use these drop-down lists to help you along right here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and navigate away from my resume builder. And so I'm going to go back to my Job and Career Accelerator and click on Build Resumes and Job Letters. Let's see what happens here. Okay, I'm taken back to the Job and Career Accelerator with the Career Dashboard. Now, if you look over here to the right, here's the resume that I'm working on right now. And here's the last date that I've updated it right here. So that's the resume builder in the Job and Career Accelerator. Now let's go ahead and start work on our cover letter. Once again, we're starting here at the Job and Career Accelerator page. And we're going to go ahead and go down to the lower right-hand corner here and click on the button that reads Start Building Your First Letter. And LearningExpress takes us to a new page. And it's the letter builder page right here. And let's take a look at the question here. Add a new letter. Do you want to create a new letter, or do you want to upload or edit an existing letter? I think I want to go ahead and create a new letter, so I'm going to go ahead and click this radio button right here. And a form opens up here. And just like with the resume builder, it wants us to label the particulars of our cover letter. So here I'm going to go ahead and enter a name for my cover letter. Here we have a drop down, so it wants to know what kind of, or the type of letter that we're going to use. And we're going to go ahead and say cover letter. And then add a description. And let's continue onward. And then LearningExpress asks us this question: where would you like to start? Would you like to revise letter from your saved letters? Do you want to create a letter from a sample? Or do you want to create a letter from scratch? I think we're going to go ahead and create a letter from scratch. So we'll create this radio button right here. And we'll go ahead and start. And here's our letter builder right here. Note the title right here that I typed in my form on the previous page. And then notice the links right here. And then, of course, on the second line here, we can write or edit our letter. We can browse and look at sample letters. And once again, we have our keyword list, so we can remember to use action verbs even in our letter writing. And then we can preview our letter here. So I'm going to go ahead and begin a letter to show you how the process goes. And then you can, most cover letters, I believe, are about 2 or 3 paragraphs. You want to keep it short and brief. And so I'm just going to start with this right here, and I can always come back and edit this later on. But I'm going to show you what the preview letter aspect looks like. So I'm going to preview letter. And here's the preview of my letter right here. And then some operational buttons here above the text field right here. Here you can clone your letter, you can print your letter, you can download your letter to your computer, and then you can also send your letter as an email attachment right here. And so that's the routine of writing and editing a letter. So you can continuously work right here. And then when you go back to your dashboard, or your career dashboard, I should say, LearningExpress now shows you that you now have your cover letter added to your list and the date it was last updated. In ending this Job and Career Accelerator tutorial, I like to remind you that even though you might be working on your resume and cover letter on your PC, you can also download it to your smartphone via the Kansas City, Kansas Public Library mobile app. For further assistance with any Learning Center from LearningExpress, you can give us a call here at 913-295-8250, or you can access our webpage at www.kckpl.org. This is Dave Mills. Thank you for your time.